Hi everyone, welcome to Wildcat News Now. I'm Karen Lau.
And I'm Gianna Milano. Today we're going to take a look back at significant events that happened at NFA and within the surrounding community.
So let's get started.
On the anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, the Norwich community gathered to celebrate his influential life. Reporters Karen Lau and Jack Holdsworth covered the ceremony.
The moral arc is long, but it bends towards justice. Yes. But it doesn't bend by itself. Right? It bends because good people stand up. And good people stand up for what's right.
Despite the extremely cold weather, the Norwich community came together at the Freedom Program to celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a man who truly bent the moral arc towards justice.
The 34th annual Martin Luther King birthday celebration here at Evans AME Zion Church. The message that we're trying to send out is that we want everyone to use this as a day on, not a day off.
Advocating for a continuation of Dr. King's inspirational service to the community, Norwich activists gathered for a church service on his birthday.
Freedom Program is really about being inclusive. It is, people have fought, people have died, people have bled blood for the freedom of all people.
Dr. King Jr., a civil rights leader who advocated for racial equality and social justice, his work paved the way for the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Look at the day he made that speech at the mall, at that crowd. You see people of different races, different religions, different backgrounds, different economic skills, all coming together.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy is not forgotten in the Norwich community.
His legacy reminds us of the work that's needed.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s message of love and hope resonates within the Norwich community to this day. His legacy has inspired community members to be active and serve others in an effort to unite all of society.
When you show service to others, it reflects the legacy that Dr. Martin Luther King has left for us.
This is Karen Lau reporting with Jack Holdsworth on camera.
Looking back at this Veterans Day, the NFA campus took part in the nationwide Field of Honor event. Reporters Julia Florence and Jack Holdsworth were on hand to check out the display.
This Veterans Day, Norwich Academy took part in the nationwide Field of Honor display and commemorated its local military members with a presentation of more than 170 flags. Proceeds from the flag sales were donated to the East Lyme-based organization Warriors for Warriors. NFA art teacher Alyssa Pendleton.
And just in general, what Warriors for Warriors is for veterans. It's a free service for holistic care to veterans with PTSD and other issues.
Some volunteers were motivated to help by their families' connections to the armed forces.
So having my father serve in Vietnam and being a military veteran, I feel like it has even, which we all are very proud to be Americans, but I definitely was brought up to be even much more appreciative of the flag, knowing how many lives have been sacrificed for our freedom here. So it means a lot to me that, and coming from a family that has a serviceman.
NFA's football players, like senior Adelino De Vega and members of the Norwich community, were involved in setting up the display.
They fought for us, and now we got to help them try to get better and make sure every day they wake up, it's not a struggle.
Veteran and Norwich Free Academy alumni John Wagner agreed that this display was an important tribute to veterans in the community.
To me, it's very heartwarming. You look at that flag and how the flag has grown from what it originally was and how many people have given their lives for that flag. It's mind-boggling. People don't realize how many have died. And not only just in combat. And it's such a privilege and an honor for us vets to come up here and do this, because that's what we try to defend.
From the campus of Norwich Free Academy, I'm Julia Florence with Jack Holdsworth behind camera reporting.
Dancing their way into the new year, the season's greeting showcase brought students together to have a fun time before midterms began. Reporters Katie Suddy and Sandra Chen brings you the story from Slater Auditorium.
Dance, by definition, is moving rhythmically to music. The NFA Dance Department presented the Season's Greetings Dance Showcase in Slater Auditorium to express their own take on the art form. To convey their interpretation of dance, NFA's dance instructor, Ashley Caldera, chose the theme of the show.
When I found the music, I listened to the finale music of Winter Wonderland, and when I found that, I kind of created this idea to have every single piece in the show represent a different month. Therefore, that's where we kind of got the term Season's Greetings from.
Through hours of preparation, Caldera and her students perfected the showcase to create meaningful dances.
I think that dance is such an expressive art form that I think that students who don't necessarily dance can also relate to it.
Students also had the opportunity to take creative control by choreographing their own performances. NFA senior Emily Matos.
The piece that I liked the most was probably Cinco, just because it was one that we as a group, we choreographed, and we took our own time to even we worked on it outside of school, and we kind of just collaborated and used our minds together, which is something I really liked being a part of.
Dance is more than just an activity. It allows individuals to tell a story with their body movements.
Dance is an expressive art in which someone can express themselves or even tell a story. There's literally numerous things of what dance is.
Dance means a lot. It means going out there and doing your best and knowing that even if you messed up, you still went out there and did something that no one could take away from you.
The dancers' passion was reflected in the crowd's energetic response to the performances. From the NFA campus, I'm Katie Suddy reporting with Sandra Chen on camera.
In November, students, along with teachers, baked about 50 pies to feed over 300 people during Thanksgiving.
People around the world are left without dinner to share with their closest friends and family during the holiday season. Project Outreach is trying to help these families in need by baking pies to donate to the St. Vincent de Paul Soup Kitchen. Reporters Katie Suddy and Sandra Ten take us behind the scenes on how these pies were made.
NFA's Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, the FCCLA, and Project Outreach teamed up for the 9th year to bake pies to donate to St. Vincent de Paul in Norwich for the Thanksgiving holiday. The goal was to bake 50 pies in 2 days to ensure delivery to the soup kitchen on Thanksgiving morning. Project Outreach Director Jody Savage. Jadaisha Rodriguez and Claire Watrous are two students who took part in this annual event. Besides the fun of baking pies after school, it's really about giving back to others. NFA's culinary arts teacher and co-organizer of this event, Amy Reed.
In the spirit of Valentine's Day, Project Outreach collaborated with Bacchus Hospital to make Patients' Days special. Reporters Jack Holdsworth and Julia Florence bring you this story of love.
Students from NFA's Project Outreach spent an afternoon making over 100 tokens of appreciation called tray favors, hoping to put a smile on the faces of patients at Bacchus Hospital.
Today we're making little penguins made out of hearts for Valentine's Day.
Student volunteers hoped that these small gestures would have a big impact on the patients and families who received them.
Obviously they're in the hospital, so they're not having a great day, so to make them feel better.
I just hope that it'll brighten their day to get to see something like that, to remind them that this is Valentine's Day and someone cares, and just to make them happy.
Students know firsthand the difference that caring for others can make.
Really wanted to help with especially the hospital, because I remember my grandfather was in the hospital around this time last year, so I'm sure that getting a favor like that would have made his day.
Both the volunteers and the patients find that these good deeds leave them smiling.
I really enjoy volunteering because it feels good to see someone smile and to know that you help them in a way that you wouldn't have done if you didn't volunteer.
I think having volunteer opportunities for students is really important to give them a sense of community.
Consistent with the spirit of Valentine's Day, giving back is just one among the many ways people can show compassion for others. Student volunteers from NFA came out to show some love for those in need in our community. From the campus of the Norwich Free Academy, I'm Jack Holdsworth reporting with Julia Florence behind camera.
Powder Puff is a very popular event at NFA. Reporter Karen Lau attended the game in November.
It was so fun to cheer on all of the girls. Let's go take a look.
Although NFA is known for its rivalry with New London, the oldest high school football rivalry in the United States, a lesser-known tradition also takes place each year on the day before the big game.
Like the day before the boys' Thanksgiving game, and it's just good to get like the girls all hyped up for it.
The players at this game were not wearing jerseys and helmets, but instead sported face paint and t-shirts. Powder Puff is a chance for girls to play football under the Friday night lights.
Not only do you gain relationships, but it's a fun opportunity to be competitive.
This year, uppers went head-to-head against the class of 2019 seniors, the reigning champions.
Creates bonds, practices are fun, it's just a good opportunity to get involved in.
Powder Puff is more than just a game at NFA. It sets a positive example for girls that they can play any sport.
I was going into it, but once we started getting more plays, I was like, okay, I'm getting used to it. It's kind of fun.
With the passage of Title IX in 1972, women's participation in high school and college sports has skyrocketed, but girls are still finding themselves working to prove that they belong on football teams. In 5 states, girls varsity flag football has been sanctioned as a high school sport. In fact, 2,000 girls played high school football in the 2016 to 2017 season. While NFA's football team welcomes female athletes, Powder Puff gives those who love football but aren't interested in playing for a full season the opportunity to play.
I played tackle football for 2 years when I was younger, and I just love the sport, and it's just gives you such a thrill.
At the end of the night, the seniors won the game, becoming 2-peat Powder Puff champions. However, both teams gained experiences and memories. From the campus of the Norwich Free Academy, this is Karen Lau reporting.
Tune in to the next show to watch Project Outreach stitch and sew for a great cause.
Also, tune in to watch about NFA Play Shop's War of the Worlds. Thank you for joining us today.
Have a nice day.